Leaving corporate changed my life without financial distress. So, if you're afraid to leave a job that you hate or a career that no longer serves you because you've built this lifestyle around your income and you've convinced yourself that you cannot afford it, well, then you're more than likely suffering from what's known as the golden handcuff syndrome. Okay, we're going to talk more about that in this episode, and I'm going to debunk that myth for you. I'll also be giving you solid solutions and practical tips that you can actually use right now and start today, and I'm going to help you to actually unhandcuff yourself. Okay, so definitely stay tuned. But before we get into it, and in case we haven't met, hey there. How's everybody doing out there? Nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Listen, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new to me or if you're true to me, I appreciate you being here. Okay, so welcome or welcome back. If you are a high achieving woman entrepreneur over 40, a woman of color, or a woman of the LGBTQ plus community, and you are feeling squeezed between success and satisfaction, listen, you have found your sanctuary, okay? I am your new favorite coach and your biz bestie, Katrina Marie here, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader. I am a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator, and I am here to resuscitate your life and your legacy. How do I do that? I do that one of three ways. First thing is I help you to heal internally so that you can expedite your external success. Okay. I help you to leave a job, a 9 to 5, a career that no longer serves you, whether it's a toxic job or a hostile work environment or however it is that it is no longer serving you and you're wanting out desperately. Okay. I also teach you how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. So, if you are ready to design the life you dream of, desire, and deserve, and claim a life of peace, pleasure, power, and profits, then listen, I want you to stick around for a while, but definitely click the subscribe button. Okay, hit subscribe. Go ahead. Come on. Do it. You got it. You're almost there. There you go. All right. And don't forget to hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode when I drop a new video and when I go live. All right. So let's get into it. Now, over the years, I have had numerous conversations with so many women, okay? Women in corporate America, at all levels, doctors, lawyers, nurses, therapists, C-suite executives, frontline workers, independent contributors, but particularly women in leadership roles, okay, who absolutely, they earn a high dollar amount, they have a high salary that they make, but the very sad truth is that these women despise their careers, right? And they desperately want out. But they stay in these less desirable positions because it's familiar territory, right? And they don't know how to transition out. Or maybe it's because they are making more money than they ever have in their current role. And they're like, I don't know another way and I don't know how to replace my income. They've also been women who have spent years in corporate America, right? Right. This is like someone who has finally landed their dream job and now they're spending years paying back the debt for the school loans, right? While they're trapped in this nightmare called corporate America. Some women feel like, listen, I did all this climbing, all this crawling, all this clawing my way to the top of the ladder and fiercely fighting my way to the top, right? And I made it. Damn it, I made it. You know what I'm saying? Now I actually have a seat at the table and this important sounding title, okay, this big wig title, even though every day I am in a battle to defend my seat, I'm not about to give this up, okay? I am not about to give this up because I did a lot to get here. And I made a lot of sacrifices for these degrees that I have, okay? And so I'm here now. I'm not going nowhere, okay? And I'm definitely not going to let them run me out of here. I'm staying. I'm going to continue to defend my seat. And then there are those women who have been in their careers for a very long time, right? Typically boomers and some Gen Xers as well. And let me just say, I know this is going to be hard to hear, but these women, whether they know it or not, whether you know it or not, if you fall into this category, most times you have an institutionalized mindset. Pause, okay? Take that in, simmer on it, don't get defensive, hear me out. This type of a mindset is shaped by long-term exposure to a particular institution or environment often leading to dependency on that particular system and difficulty adapting outside of that institution or system, right? Similar to someone who has been in prison or jail. They've been incarcerated, people in prison and jail, right? They've been incarcerated for so long that when they're finally released back into society, it's hard for them, very difficult for them to get acclimated back into the life outside of that prison or jail cell. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just the truth. Anyways, all of this comes down to brainwashing, okay? Corporate America and society as a whole they've done an outstanding job. Let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay, they've done an outstanding job at teaching us this one traditional path to success that we all know so well. Come on, let's just say it together. We all know what it is, okay? Especially those of us who are Gen Xers or baby boomers who come from the era of go to school, high school, and get a diploma, right? Then go to college to pursue a higher education, and then use those degrees to land a good paying job with good benefits, right? Climb the corporate ladder, retire well, and live happily ever after. It's so tired. It's such an old message. It's such an old story, right? And it is as if someone, corporate America, the system, our society, downloaded uh, this programming in each of our minds at birth and then strung us along the way, right? Strung us like puppets along the way throughout life. Same old tired playbook. We replay this message in our heads. We put it on repeat. We replay it again and again and again like a broken record. And we keep buying into this broken system. Yet no one prepares us for when this fairy tale turns left, right? When it takes a turn for the worse and turns into our worst nightmare. And we're not given a backup plan on what to do or how to succeed when we end up in debt for the degrees we've pursued, right? Or we have landed these dead end jobs and we keep being passed up for promotions we damn well deserve that we are qualified for. In fact, I dare to say overqualified for most times. We are sometimes unexpectedly discharged and laid off, unemployed, right? And back to the depressing struggle, and nobody has prepared us for this day. Let me know if this resonates with you. Okay? Let me know if this resonates with you. Give me a thumbs up, drop a heart in the comment. Let me know that this resonates with you. Listen, this subject is something I'm really passionate about, right? This is very near and dear to my heart because this used to be my story. This was my story. Back in 2016, I started a company by the name of Shared Visions by Katoa. Okay, this is my online coaching and consulting company that I have right now. This business was born out of necessity. Okay, my wife and I, once upon a time when I was married, okay, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I'll do a video on that story another day. But we temporarily relocated from California to Atlanta, Georgia, okay? Back in 2015, latter part of 2015, our plans were simple, right? We just wanted to take a much needed break. Life had dealt us a bad hand that we just, we had come through a lot. We made it through. We survived. Thank you, Jesus. But we really needed a break. We wanted a new, refreshing environment. We wanted to hang out and just do what the hell we wanted to do without any obligations to anybody, anything. We wanted to spend time with our East Coast peeps, right? We wanted to do lots of traveling and just really spend quality time together that we unfortunately weren't able to do a lot of during this horrific period of time in our lives. So, sounds very simple, doesn't it? Sounds very promising. And I thought it would be so easy. I mean, we planned and we prepared for this move. We saved our money, right? We were very prepared. We packed, we looked ahead at what the market looked like out there, the job market, and we weren't planning on running a business. We were going to go out there, get jobs. We already had jobs. We were just going to go get another job and live this life. and have an amazing time, and then come back and build our California dreaming home, I always like to call it. So I thought it would be easy. I thought it would be easy to go out there and find a job because, I mean, it's never been an issue before. I've never in the history of my long career ever have I had any issues with finding employment. Besides, we are going to the A, baby, okay? We are going to the home of the brave, the land of the free, Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying? Besides, there are lots of opportunities out here, job opportunities and business opportunities for African American people, Black women, right? People of color. Like, this is the place. The opportunities are endless, right? Wrong. Very wrong. Okay. For the first time in my entire career, I was not getting hired anywhere. I cannot even tell you how many times I had been rejected and rejected and rejected. It had gotten to a point where looking for work, hunting for a job, in and of itself became a job. And when I finally did get hired, it was like 6 months later. 6 months later. Okay. The frustration and the disappointment that I felt was major. I can't even express to you how deeply I was pained and aggravated and annoyed with this broken ass system. Okay, let's calm down. Everybody just keep it cool. Okay. But I was like, what in the hell is wrong with this picture? Here I am, a registered nurse, 25 years of nursing under my belt, 30 plus, nearly at the time, 30 years in corporate America, 20 plus years in leadership, a gazillion certifications and accolades, 3 degrees, a background in healthcare, business, and law, and then some, okay? The whole alphabet soup of credentials behind my name. And you mean to tell me I can't get a job? Make that make sense, okay? Make that make sense. So that was the turning point for me. That was really and truly when I decided to pivot. I was like, you know what? I'm making a decision today to create my own opportunities and stop asking for one. Okay? I'm not begging nobody for no damn opportunity when I can create my own. Okay? Period. With a T. Okay? I was so over building someone else's dream while deferring my own. And starting a business, as far as I was concerned, was the solution to my problem. And since I'm a woman who was always in solution mode, this was the solution. This was the only solution. As far as I was concerned, there was no alternative. Okay? And in short, that's how Shared Visions was born. Now, this was by far the best decision I had ever made. Still is the best decision I have ever made. But I wasn't the path to entrepreneurship, business ownership. Listen, it was not a straight road or an easy road to success. So I'm not going to paint this pretty picture, okay, for you because it doesn't exist. Too many coaches, in fact, are out here making it seem like they left these golden handcuffs, right? The golden handcuffs, and immediately started living this golden life. I know. I bought into that story too. You just can't believe all the hype, right? And you don't know what you don't know what you don't know until you're actually in it. Now, I'm not saying that is not some people's story, but very few and far between. Because the honest truth is there just is no overnight success. That is a lie, okay? And that is doing you a disservice if I were to paint the picture that way and continue that false narrative because it's not true. It's just being dishonest. So I am going to tell you that I ended up back in the workforce because, well, the truth is I needed the money. I needed the money to live, right? I needed to keep the roof over my head. I needed to keep the lights on. I needed to keep food in my fridge. And I needed to fund my business. And I utilize my employer as my investor. That's something that I teach in my program. Okay. It's something I teach women all the time. But within 90 days of finally getting a job after 6 months of not having one during the probationary period, y'all know what that is. They sometimes nicen it up and they term it an introductory period. The same thing. Probationary period is usually within a 90-day time frame that you have to sort of test the waters, right? You're test driving this job that, and this employer, and they're test driving you, right? It needs to be a good fit. And it's, it's a win-win for the both of you, right? Because then you're not confined to, you have the small window of time to decide if this is the place for you, right? And they have time to decide if you are the best fit for them and the position they hired you for. Fair game, no problem. But after 90 days, or actually right before my 90-day mark, because there was a lot going on and I'm not one to back down or shut my mouth and sit idly by and watch BS go down and not say nothing, I spoke up and I was given pushback. And not everybody is receptive to that. And I kept pushing back and pushing back and pushing back to the point that they were like, you know what? You're fired, and they let me go. So that position I was let go from. They ended this pilot program, which quite frankly wasn't working in the first place. I think this was like their third attempt at this pilot program that kept failing horribly. So needless to say, unemployed again. Okay. I just left unemployment. 3 months later, after getting this job, and by the way, this was like a very well-known healthcare organization nationwide that I got fired from. Okay. I was making good progress by this point. Business was going pretty good. We're making some progress. Wrote my first best-selling book, started partnering with bigger brands, JV partnerships, but I was spending more money than the business was actually making. Okay. So to keep the momentum of this good thing we had going, I got another job. Okay. I got another job to continue funding the business. Had some issues with that job as well, to the point that it revolved around, I can't get into particulars, but I'll just say harassment, retaliation, discrimination. It ended up being a whole legal matter. Okay. Listen, I brought the house down. Okay. I am a legal nurse consultant. I've done lots of these. I've helped lots of people advocate for themselves. It was time for me to advocate for myself in this particular situation. And with that came some consequences for the people who were involved. So what had happened, long story short, is I got people demoted who were participating in these activities that were, fell under those categories. Um, it was just a long continued saga. Anyways, I got people demoted and a lot of, they were the authorities and the powers that be had to do some cleanup in that house, right? So I had to take a short medical leave. It was only for about a week. But within that time frame, this employer got clever and they cleverly terminated my position while I was on medical leave. Now, I had every right to take this legal proceeding further, but I was like, you know what? Life is good for me. I'm blessed, and I'm not going to block my blessings by dancing with the devils. Okay. Y'all can have that. Okay. Y'all are good at this, but this is not what I'm doing in this phase of my life. I'm just not going to do it. So I started to take it further. I hired some of the best attorneys. We had a strong case, and I dropped the case because I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm moving on with my life. I'm good. Okay. Now, needless to say, I don't know how many of you have ever been on unemployment, but you never make enough money on unemployment. Okay. They don't even pay you a third of your salary, barely. Okay. They pay you maybe about that. It's very, very little money, barely enough to keep, some gas in your car, some food in the fridge, pay a couple bills. It's when you have a lot of responsibilities and obligation, right? You can't live off of unemployment, not for long. You have to have some sort of supplemental income. So, in order to maintain my livelihood and continue to operate the business full time by now, because first we were doing it part time, now it's full time. I'm going full fledged in, right? And I think for the most part, I really always had that attitude, even though I was kind of doing it part time. It was always really with the mindset of I'm going all in. Okay. So what did I do? Got another job. This time, a better job, right? A better job, a higher paying job, a job closer to home. On a good day, I could walk. It was not that far from home, right up the street. I loved it. Management position, leadership role, regional director, healthcare administrator, great. But I walked into these inherited problems and they thought I was going to be the savior and clean up all of these things. And they basically wanted me to do things that took ownership of my life and I wasn't having it. So I gave pushback because I'm not getting ready to be owned by nobody. I'm not working crazy hours outside of business hours. I'm not doing the job that we can hire somebody or outsource a separate entity to do. Like, no, like that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's not happening. And so I told them how I felt about that. And I told them, I gave them some strong solutions on what they can do to fix the problem. But I'm not going to be the one to save this whole department or organization because these are problems that you guys created by allowing these things to happen and not doing anything about it before I got here. I am not going to now be your cleanup woman. Okay. And so they took my advice. And on that note, they had a whole company layoff. Well, a department layoff, and then company wide, they laid off other departments related to this department. So now the whole department is, for the first time in my career, this is the first time I'd actually been laid off. Okay. So, fired first, terminated from the second job during my medical leave. Now this time laid off. Listen, this pattern continued not once, not twice, not three times. Nope. Not even four times. Not five. Girl. Six times. Okay. Six times. Six times. I'm not even going to go into the details of the other stuff because I'm not trying to make this too long of a video. And I'm coming to a point here. Okay. This is going to bring me back to why I'm sharing all of this with you. Okay. But I was finally like, you know what? This is some BS. Okay. And no, that doesn't stand for Bachelor's of Science degree. Okay. This is some BS. Enough is enough is enough. Seriously. And I've had it. I'm done. I'm not going back. Okay. Kind of like the slogan for this year's presidential campaign for the Democratic Party. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. That's how I felt. Seriously, I was convicted. Like I was like, I'm not going back. So at this point, I felt like God was really trying to tell me something. He'd been trying to tell me something, right? He was calling me to do something greater, something more. He was making it plain and clear, and I continued to be disobedient to my calling and go all in the way that he was pushing me towards going, right? He literally kept giving me the roadmap to freedom, the roadmap to freedom. And every time I finally escaped the corporate plantation, what did I do? I went back to massa. Who does that, right? Me. I did. And many of us do. Why? Brainwashed, which is back to how I started this story, right? Brainwashed. It is a brainwashing. And listen, I was tired of being broke, but I was exhausted from being broken. So when the opportunity presented itself again, because it did, it kept presenting itself, I left corporate America and I never looked back. Okay. Sometimes less is more is the moral of the story. I taught myself how to transition out of corporate America, regardless of my financial status and all of these limiting beliefs I was starting to have, all of this doubt, some of it fear, some of it just I was familiar territory, right? All of this brainwashing I had to undo. A lot of mindset work for sure. I've been able to teach myself how to transition out of corporate America seamlessly and replace my high income salary. And I have taught countless women how to do the same. Okay. And I'm going to be sharing with you that very thing today in this video. All right. So if you see yourself in any part of my story, if this is your current scenario, I'm going to be giving you some practical steps that you can follow to get yourself free and stop being shackled in those golden handcuffs, okay? Because you do have a choice. Why? Because you do have options, right? Now, tap the like button, okay? And share this video if you are getting value. Give me a thumbs up. Show me some love, all right? I never can do that the way they, let's see. There we go. Show me some love. All right, look, I want you to, wait a minute. You don't know I'll be dropping these gems. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Ready? Like for real, for real. Are you ready? You ain't ready. I'm about to sip some tea. You ain't ready. Think you ready? Let me know you ready. Comment ready. Comment ready. Comment ready. Perfect. Okay, cool. Here's the first step. Now, be sure if you're ready for real to take notes, okay? And be ready to pick up these gems I'm about to drop, okay? You know I never disappoint. Now listen, I'm going to be giving you some homework. Don't even try it. You're not getting ready to get it. This is not just you listening into the video. You're going to get I'm going to put you to work, okay? We got to roll up our sleeves. I ain't got no sleeves on today. Got to roll up our sleeves. You got to get in the trenches and do some work, okay? So this is about, if you have to, pause the video so you can learn and do. Pause the video when you need to. Go back, do what you got to do, take your notes, and then start doing the work. Listen to learn. Once you have clarity, get into action and do, okay? Step number one, this is the very first step. I want you to identify your skill set, your strengths, and your story. Okay? Identify your skill set, your strengths, and your story. Got it? Listen to me. Listen close. God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed. It is already within you right now. So I need you to stop looking outside of yourself, okay? And start looking within. And I want you to start by asking yourself these reflective questions we're going to go through right now, okay? Because this is going to help you brainstorm ideas. Even if you think it's insignificant, I want you to write it down anyway. Nothing you've done up until this point is insignificant. It all matters. So the first thing is, the question to ask yourself is what are your goals? Or better yet, what are your accomplished goals? And I want you to consider what you've done both personally and professionally, okay? I'll give you some examples. Have you successfully passed the bar exam if you're a lawyer, or the NCLEX RN exam if you're a registered nurse? And you have come up with this formula that seemed to work well for you and got you the great results, right? And then maybe you taught it to other people who went through that same process and it got them great results. What is that thing, that formula that you do or teach that works well and you've accomplished this thing, right? Have you lost significant amount of weight without starving yourself or without spending hours in the gym? Like, that's everybody's dream, right? You lost that much weight and you didn't have to spend hours in the gym and you didn't have to starve yourself and limit all of these, foods and things. Like, wait, what? What, if that's you, then that's significant. Are you great at decluttering stuff, right? And or organizing things in a small, tight space, limited spaces, right? That's something that you've accomplished, right? The next thing is, what are your lived experiences? Okay, so have you experienced some sort of grief, like loss of a loved one or divorce, okay, or some tragedy with your home, you lost your home, or job loss, or any kind of loss or grief. And you found a way throughout all of that, whatever that is for you, to still remain joyful and grateful. That's something to be proud of. Okay. That is a lived experience. Not everybody can do that, right? Not everybody can take lemons and make lemonade. But if that's you, then that's important. Did you survive some type of rare illness? And as a result, you've, I don't know, learned how to grow your own organic, your own garden full of organic fruits and vegetables and herbs. That's something, right? To write down and to, be proud of. Not everybody knows how to grow a garden. And then have you ever created maybe some easy, unique ways of how to do your hair? You've got natural hair, you work with different curl patterns, right? So that way you don't have to keep going to a hairstylist, right? And that's going to save you a lot of money, and maybe you've taught other people and it saves them a lot of money. So write that down, okay? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, what are you deeply passionate about? Okay? Because we've got to do the things that is in alignment with our deepest aspirations and our passion and our purpose. All of that needs to be in alignment. So, some examples might be, do you enjoy cooking tasty, healthy vegan soul food, right? You love soul food, but you're vegan now and you've learned how to make foods that are, vegan, but and you make them, you make every soul food dish there is. However, you do it in a healthier version. That's great. Do you love themes and color schemes and love to maybe decorate the inside of homes? Like, an interior designer or interior decorator. Some people have a knack for that, right? Um, is event planning your thing, right? Is that something that brings you joy? Do you love helping people maintain long-term relationships, right? So that they don't get a divorce. Like you can teach people how to keep it hot like fire in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're talking grown and sexy talk right now, but lots of long-term couples that have been together for a long time in a committed relationship or marriage need that, right? Do you pole dance as a way to build confidence and to strengthen your core and to keep it sexy at the same time? Girl, women would love that. I've done that before. I loved it. Okay. It's a whole vibe. Does teaching kids how to create beautiful art light you up? Maybe you love traveling and you love doing it big, but you know how to keep it on a, you know how to travel and do it big on a tight budget. So those are just some examples that come top of mind, right? But there are lots of examples out there that will give you just a jump start, right? That gets your creative juices flowing. Start thinking about how that applies to you, okay? Many times we tend to overlook talents that we have, right? That come easily and natural to us, our hobbies, the advice that people come to us for. Yet these are the very things that people will pay us handsomely to teach them. Did you know that? These very things that we just brush off like, I do that all day. I do that in my sleep. It's not a big deal. But it is. Not for you maybe, but for some for sure. Here's a mindset hack, okay? I need to talk about this because everything I do and everything we do in life, we have to have the right mindset, okay? I know imposter syndrome for some is real because it exists up here in your mind. But that is the only place it exists, and you are the only person who can change that by doing the mindset work that is required to undo that thinking, okay? Imposter syndrome is false belief that many very qualified women buy into because if you are one of these people, don't realize that you already know how to do the thing that you do. You do these things all the time. Yes, they come naturally and easy to you because you do them. You've been doing them. It is easy. It does feel natural. It is second nature, right? You can do it in your sleep. You have been doing this for years and getting results, right? Think about it. Think about the things that you've done that just comes easy and natural for you, and you've gotten results, be it for yourself or for somebody else. So, yes, of course, you can teach other people how to do that thing that you do. Okay. And because you have the knowledge and others don't, they will pay you for that knowledge to get the transformation that you've got, to get the results and the outcome that you've got. You feel me? Even if you're just a few steps ahead, you are still ahead of that individual or those individuals that you're teaching how to do that thing. You know what I'm saying? So don't like brush that off. Don't count yourself out, okay? Don't make those things that seem insignificant to or insignificant to you. Don't like throw that away. Okay? Because the proof is in the result, and you've gotten results for you or others. And I want you to hold on to that. Okay? The knowledge and the talent that you have, and the things that seem boring to you, basic to you, like it's not a big deal to you. Operative word here, right? Is the very thing that others, quite frankly, on the contrary, think it's a very big deal. And so I, again, don't want you to count those things out. Okay? All right. Next on the list is want you to highlight the skills that can be transferred from corporate America, okay, from your corporate career to entrepreneurship, okay, based on the jobs that you've held, the titles you've held, the positions you've held. That is a number of things, right? Leadership abilities. And you can write these down to give you a head start. Okay, leadership abilities, administrative skills, customer service etiquette. Maybe you're an analytical person. You love to problem solve, critical thinking, right? Attention to detail, project management, program management, relationship building, team building, marketing and sales, human resources, active listening, written communication, right? Volunteer work even counts. And so does your resilience, your tenacity, your unmatched work ethic. These are all considered transferable skills that you can utilize that you've learned in corporate America and in life, okay? And transfer them over to your business skills, right? Now you have a whole new, you can utilize that skill set and transfer it over to what you're going to kind of like use as your foundation to base your business off of, right? Because you already have these skills because you've been doing these things for a long time. Some of you for many years. Some of you have had many jobs, right? Like me. So I want you to remember you have lots and lots of skills. I want you to dig deep. Okay, this should give you a really great start. A lot of skills to be considered, which is why, hear me, which is why you were the selected candidate for the various roles that you have played in corporate America. Okay, the ones you were hired into by your employer. Listen, you've gained these skills along the way in your corporate career. You've also gained them in life. You've gained them as a part of your personal and professional development in your journey, right? Listen, sis, I gotta say this. I gotta say this because, again, it's a part of the mindset that I need you to have. If you weren't good enough or seen as an asset to the company who hired you into the position they hired you for, if they didn't see you as an asset to the organization, they would not have hired you in the first place. Am I right or am I right? Okay? So I need you to hold on to knowing that and accepting that as the truth. Because if it's good enough for them, it's got to be good enough for you. Okay? Now, if you need help with this section and thinking of more things, because this is just, I've barely scratched the surface of transferable skills, this is a great time to pull out your resume And if you have, various versions like I did, pull that resume out. And this is time to scan through it, review it, and pull out those transferable skills that you can utilize from corporate America in your business. Okay? Now, give me a thumbs up if this is making sense so far. We're good? Thumbs up? Perfect. Now, once you have all of this outlined, okay, the next step is to package yourself up as the expert. Package yourself up as the industry leader and expert that you are, right? And then I want you to start showcasing your abilities and utilizing your skills outside of corporate life. This is something um, that you can and should absolutely do while you still have your 9 to 5. Okay? Why? So that you can set yourself up for success and so that you can transition seamlessly from corporate America. But here's the thing. At this point, you're ready to create your signature offer. Okay? And to put it out in the market. I know that can feel scary if you haven't ever done that. Put it out in the market, right? And validate it with sales. In fact, you can even validate it before you actually fully create your signature offer, okay? And that's actually a better idea, right? So that you don't spend all of this time building something that the market is not asking for or doesn't exactly need. The market tells us what they need. We don't tell them. Oftentimes people make this mistake and they, first of all, they build something that nobody is asking for or actually needs. I need you to avoid this mistake, okay? It is really and truly, I'm not going to talk so much about that, but that was just something that kind of came to me right now. What I am going to talk about is the way you present the offer, because that is a big mistake that people often make, okay? So here's the thing. I repeat, do not, okay, talk about your offer from your perspective. Talk about your offer from the lens of the prospective client, okay? Because it's always going to be about what's in it for me. And by what's in it for me, I'm saying from the perspective or the lens of the client you wish to work with. So I know this is going to be hard for some of you to hear, but your degrees and your credentials, your years of experience in leadership and all of these other roles you've held in corporate America, the accomplishments that you've made, the accolades that you have. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. Bearer of bad news. I don't know if that came out right. None of these things in business matter. None of those things that I just listed, from your degrees, your licenses, your certifications, your accolades, and on and on and on, all of those achievements, they don't matter in business. And quite frankly, many people that you share that with won't be impressed. Now, I know that's a hard pill to swallow, right? And we need to undo some brainwashing here, okay? Because this is where, again, corporate America has done a great job at teaching us otherwise. And it's true, because in corporate America, when we pursue a job, right, we are taught to sell the employer on those very things. In that setting, in corporate America, it does matter. But in business, no one cares. And I know that's a harsh reality, but no one cares. All that matters in business from a customer standpoint is that I have a problem. Can you solve it? I have an urgent need. Can you meet or exceed my expectations and help me find, my way to that desire that I have or that urgent need I need to meet? I have a pain. Can you cure it? You feel me? You understand? It is exactly the way you are thinking When you go to apply for a job, as an example, since we're talking about corporate America, when you go to apply for a job and you go to an interview, if you're smart and you know how to effectively interview, it's a two-way street, right? They're not just interviewing you, you're interviewing them. You want to know before you accept the job offer if what's in it for me? Aside from all the long list of responsibilities and other duties as assigned, what's in it for me? Right? Is the pay good? Is it better than what I was making over here? Are what's your management or leadership style? What's the culture of this organization? How rigid are the rules? How flexible will my schedule be? Are you a micromanager? Is this a toxic, work environment or a hostile work environment? Are there any problem children? Am I going to be dealing with a lot of red tape and office politics and negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers and bitter Bettys and, no burnt out Barbers? Like what's going on here? You know what I mean? Is this going to be right for me? So before I accept the job, I need to know that. What's in it for me? You see? So think of it like that. Also, as a consumer, as you're shopping for a particular thing, a particular item, you're looking for a solution, right? If you're in pain, well, what is it that I need to do or take to get out of this pain? What can actually help me do that? Depends on what kind of pain it is. If you are hungry and you like to eat healthy, hunger and healthy, right? I mean, some people are hungry and they go out to get whatever because they don't have any real diet restrictions. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't have diet restrictions, but you like to eat healthy and you want it to be yummy and tasty. So what are your options? Right? What is going to be the food that you can choose from that is going to both satisfy your appetite and with a heart healthy meal? That's not everywhere, right? Probably not most fast food places. Okay. If you have a need to, get a cute outfit because you got a special event that you're going to be going to, but you also have a little, belly fat here. You got some happenings going on around the middle, right? Around the midriff, and you like, that ain't looking so cute. And I'm not going to be able to lose this weight in time, this midriff of mine, this belly fat before this event. So I don't want nobody to see that. So you might need to go grab you a pair of Spanx or two, right? Spanx in this example is solving your problem of the belly fat you don't want seen, smooth out that gut, right? So when you don't have to work so hard trying to tuck it in all night or whatever, if it's a day party or whatever the event is, and you can feel cute and confident in your cute outfit. You feel what I'm saying? So when you're talking about your solutions, or when you're talking rather about your offer, you're going to be talking about the benefits, the results, the transformation, and the solution. Does that make sense? Smash that like button and drop me a heart in the comments. All right. Now, if you already have an offer, that's great. You'll be good to go. Okay? You'll be good to go for the next steps. But if you don't, I can certainly help you with that. And in fact, I can help you with that, and I can help you to create your framework, your proprietary system on how you teach what you know and design that and build that into your signature offer. Okay? And so now we work on signature offers and frameworks in my new 30-day hybrid group coaching program, the Legacy Leaders Lab. Okay. To learn more about this program, be sure to click the link in the description. In fact, I'm going to put the card up here. I never know what side it's going to be on, so I'm safe to do this number. Okay. Whichever side it lands on, it will be there, but for sure in the description below. Click that link and get in while you can on the lowest price, and I do mean the lowest price I will ever offer it for, okay? Especially for my first it's like 11, the first 11 founding members. And then after that, the price goes up. Okay. So I also want to mention to you my quick start guide. It's titled How to Cut the Corporate Cord and Hire Yourself Without Any More Degrees, Debt, or Disappointment. This teaches you the exact 7 simple steps that I actually use to transition out of my corporate career, replace my high income salary, and how I have taught other women to do the same. So be sure to grab your copy today, okay, of that guide. The link will also be in the description and in the channel banner as well, okay? Um, Also, you can book a complimentary business breakthrough discovery call session. These calls with me, this is how we can discuss ways in which I can best support you. If you want to talk more about the Legacy Leaders Lab, for example, or any other program that I have right now that might be, a better fit for you. If you want a longer container, past 30 days, if you're wanting a one-on-one, I don't do a whole lot of those anymore, but occasionally I will offer VIP days, virtual VIP days, okay? So we can talk about that and other solutions that I have, other packages, other programs, other services that we can talk about. But in these discovery call sessions, I spend about 50 minutes with you or so, just, really giving you the clarity that you need, offering insights, and then you'll have a plan of action that you'll walk away from, giving you the exact next steps that you need to take. So it's well worth it, okay? And like I said, it's complimentary, so no cost to you other than for you to show up and your time. So come prepared, fill out the pre-screen questionnaire, and we'll be good to go. You can get on my calendar and we'll go from there. Now, if you've gotten any value out of today's video, and I know you did, okay, be sure to show me some love. Seriously, help my channel out. I want my video, my content to be shown to more people who need to hear it, okay, to more people who need to hear my message, to see my video, to know that I'm here and I exist. So by actually sharing the video, commenting on the video, engaging with the video by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel if you're, really getting a lot of value out of here, I would appreciate it. And then that way it will push the algorithm right out, or the algorithm will push my videos out in front of more people who actually need to hear it. But if you know somebody who will actually benefit from my message today, or any of my other videos for that matter, do subscribe, comment, like, share the video out, and save this for yourself so you can come back to it, later at another time when you need to work through this process, okay? All right, boss chicks, that's my time. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. As always, until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.